Good evening. It's that time again. I like that beat. That beat's catchy. I'm Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Let's talk Houston Rockets. Rocket fan, let's do it. Derek Grant's already in here asking me questions a little bit minutes before the show. We're going to talk some Rockets. Y'all know Rockets are 14-33, coming off a successful 5 games on the road. Split up road trip, wasn't 5 straight games all on the road. They came back home for a couple of days before going to Utah, getting that dub and scaring the Warriors Friday night. Steph being Steph made a clutch game-winning shot. Rockets had a 3-2 road trip. So as I teased out on my YouTube shorts, as well as YouTube community on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, we're going to talk the Russ rumor for John Wall. If you didn't miss the YouTube short that I posted earlier today, I encourage you to become a subscriber, get the notifications, because YouTube shorts are a little different. I like doing them, 15 seconds to a minute, just some quick hits. I may start doing them on the road. I was tempted to do today's YouTube short while I was at Toyota Center right after practice, but got talking to some colleagues and just didn't do it. But I'm going to answer Derek Grant's questions in a moment. But if you did not see or catch that earlier YouTube short, John Wall was not at practice. John Wall has not been in practice. Some colleagues say he has been there for a while. John Wall has not been with the Rockets in games. Chicago Bulls game, I think that was December 20th, was the last time John was with the team on the bench. We think. I haven't even been paying attention looking for him on the sideline, honestly. But rumors nonetheless popped out Friday. Mark Stein, NBA insider, wrote in his Steinline newsletter that, and the way he worded it is accurate for me and for how I read it. I'm a subscriber to Mark Stein's work. Known Mark for a long time. And, fans of these Let's Talk Houston Rocket shows, my live streams, I've said for a while that I believe there was a team that the Rockets could trade Coach Wall for. Mark wrote that as well. Nobody believed the Rockets would be able to trade John Wall, especially during this season, because he's owed so much money. And he has a player option for next season of $47.4 million. The one team, the one player, potentially for a deal, is Russell Westbrook. Mark Stein wrote that he's been told by other insiders that the reason the Rockets would consider reacquiring Russell Westbrook is for the Lakers' first-round pick at minimum, first-round pick in 2027. Lakers don't want to do that. Lakers trying to give up a couple of second-round picks, not a first-round pick. So that's where the discussion is going to start, because honestly, I've had folks reply already on the YouTube channel. They look forward to Russ being a Rocket, Rockets getting Russ. Why? Russ won't be happy here. The Rockets are reloading. Rockets are rebuilding. Russ ain't going to play minutes here. Rockets are not going to take time away from Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. in the backcourt. Josh Christopher. That's not happening. If they make the trade and the Lakers blink, admit they made a mistake in getting Russ in the first place and tossing in the 27 first-round pick, 2027, they're admitting that they're wrong. That pick so far in the future, okay, Russ won't be happy here. The Rockets will have to do a buyout of Russ. And then we're back to the John Wall situation. Why would Russ agree to a buyout? And Russ going to have to give us some money if he wants a buyout. He's not going to play here. Why would the Rockets bring Russ in? Because I feel certain, as soon as these rumors went public, that Russ's people, his reps, contacted the Rocket reps, Rafael Stone and those reps. Hey, if y'all seriously thinking about making this deal, we better start talking buyout, because there's no way in hell I'm going to play for y'all. I know the Lakers are struggling. They're milling around 500, but they're in the playoffs. Rockets ain't. Rockets are like 6 games out of the 10th spot, 6 games out of the play-in. Russ ain't going to want to deal with that. John Wall fans, Russ fans, I understand. Well, I'm not a fan. But from a Laker perspective, Lakers have not seen John Wall play this year. Lakers don't know what John Wall can do. None of us have seen John Wall play in an NBA game this year. So why would the Lakers blink, trade for John Wall, and give up a first-round pick, one of their few remaining assets for the next 5 years, for a guy they haven't seen play all year? Trusting that John Wall is healthy, he's still in NBA shape, that he'd be able to contribute immediately. That's a lot of ifs. And the biggest if has nothing to do with John Wall or Russ. What if AD can't stay healthy? Which has been a problem. I think he's getting close. He may be playing tonight, whatever the Lakers' next game is. If AD ain't healthy, I don't care if it's Russ, John Wall, LeBron. The two of them without AD ain't going far. They're not going far in the playoffs if Anthony Davis is not healthy. Period. I see Jamon tuning in. And Alan Luna, I see your question. Russ would have to be open to a buyout, but then again, you got to agree on the money. Because let's say Russ has 47 point, I think he has 47.1, where John has 47.4 on both have player options for next season. So we got half the season left this year, plus the 47 next year. Let's say left on the contract total this season and a half is $60 million. Let's just say it could be $70 million. Let's say it's $70 million. Russ agreed to a buyout. What Russ said, I want $50 million of the 70. Tillman says, oh no, that's too much. Then Russ says, well, I want my money. Because if Russ agrees to a buyout, who's to say that the next team that signed him, he's going to make that money back in a new contract in a 2-3 year deal? That's going to be probably for the $9.5, $10 million, league average exception kind of money, which means the team would have to give Russ 3 or 4 year deal for $40, $45 million. You think a team wants to sign Russ to a 3 or 4 year deal and he's having problems this season with his game? Think a team wants to invest multiple years in Russell Westbrook, whose game relies on athleticism? I don't know about that. So this is not just it's going to happen. Russ, John Wall, the money matches. Let's do it. Just don't see it happening. I've seen stranger things happen. It could happen during the offseason this summer, but I don't see it. Russ, he has cut down on his turnovers the last few games. His shot still isn't falling. He's not, Russ is never going to be a great shooter. He's a streaky shooter. He's never going to take great shots game in, game out. But he's trying to make it work in LA, and I think the Lakers are going to ride it out, because the Lakers also know if Anthony Davis cannot stay healthy, LeBron and Russ and Monk, they can't do without AD. They can go just so far without a healthy Anthony Davis. It's a fact. That's where it is. It's good conversation. Laker fans are hyped because some of them are frustrated at Russ and what Russ has done so far. Understandable. But y'all haven't seen John Wall play since last season. Has John posted any clips on his Instagram or anything like that lately of his workouts? Which mean nothing because they're not NBA games. Has he posted any more free John Wall hashtags? I go back to it. John and Rafael Stone. John should not have agreed to this arrangement back in September. And he did, because they're stuck. John Wall has shown no signs of agreeing to a buyout. So why would Russ agree to a buyout? And if Rafael Stone he's maintained a buyout is not in the interest of the Rockets nor John Wall. So why would a buyout be in the interest of Russ and the Rockets? So this is just talk, but hit me up with what y'all thoughts. See if y'all can convince me on my take, because then I want to play a clip of Coach Silas from today's practice. Once again, John Wall was not there. Rafael Stone was there. Take that for what it's worth. Rockets, if they waive him, he still got to pay him because no team, Damon, is not going to pick him up and take on the remaining money that he's owed. So, no, in that case, the Rockets will still owe John the money. Waive or not. Because I'll give an example. The Detroit Pistons and Blake Griffin agreed to a buyout. The Pistons still owe Blake money this season, and it's like $30 million, even though they agreed to a buyout. So Blake getting paid from Brooklyn and still getting paid from Detroit. So I just don't see Russ. Russ is a proud man. He's a proud player. He's a proud dude. He's going to try to make it work with the Lakers come hell or high water. And I just, the Lakers are a proud organization to a fault, because the majority of folks did not believe Russ and LeBron could coexist and the team could be successful, because both of them need the ball in their hands the majority of the game. But the Lakers said, we're going to prove y'all wrong. Well, so far, we've been right and they've been wrong. So, Alan Luna's right. Russ is not going to come here. He'll be pissed off if the Rockets trade for him and then come here and sit. Oh, hell no. He ain't going to like that either. And then if he pushes to play, then you are stunting Scoot's development. You are stunting Jalen Green's development. You are stunting Josh Christopher's development. For what? A handful more wins, which could decrease your chances of getting a high lottery pick, which the team still needs. It could decrease your chance of getting a chance at Jabari Smith, Paolo Banchero, Chet Holmgren, Jaden Ivey, Shaden, who at Kentucky. So Lilo, thank you very much. So welcome. So it's fun. I was surprised. I mean, Mark Stein was surprised when he heard and reported that the Rockets would trade to get Russ if the Lakers gave up a first-round pick. That surprised him, that the Rockets would consider it. I still, I'll believe it when it happens. And until then, I don't see it. No, I'm not, telling y'all to go bet money on it. Bet your hard-earned salary and paychecks on what I'm saying, because anything can happen in the NBA. The Lakers could just say, doggone it, it just ain't going to work. Let's see what John Wall can do for us. I'd be shocked that happens between now and February 10th. But stranger things have happened in the NBA. I just don't see that happening. And Kendrick Nunn and THT, when they going to play here? Other teams don't want them. So if the Rockets even made that trade and then try to trade them to another team, good luck with that. So, the Lakers don't have a lot of assets that other teams want, and it's their own fault. But let's talk Rockets. I got a slide. We may have a class in session here in a few minutes. Going to pull up a slide with some more info, courtesy of Bobby Marks, ESPN Insider. And he mentioned in his Insider notebook from a few days ago, going to pull it up. He suggested trades we would like to see. And he got two pertaining to the Rockets. Check these out. Because some of y'all, here we go. I'm not going to say it. Trade we would like to see. First one, Ricky Rubio, he's out for the year, and a 2022 lottery protected first round pick to the Rockets for Eric Gordon. Thoughts on that? Ricky Rubio, a lottery protected 2022 first round pick for Eric Gordon. Would y'all do that? Like I said, Rubio's got the torn ACL. He won't play. He won't take up minutes for Scoot, Jalen, Josh, etc. But you get a lottery protected 2022 first round pick. Now, I don't know all the protections on that pick. You don't have to go into that because they may have it in the slide that they're going to show. But thoughts on that? Okay. We got 3. J-Mon, you stand alone, man. Ricardo Flores, he likes it. J-Mon says no deal. D says he would take it. Solo D-Lo says he likes that. So J-Mon, why don't you like that? Give me your reasons for a no to that. Alan Luna says take the protection off. Well, Alan, then I'm not sure the Cavs would want to do it then. But you can haggle, have them toss in something else. It's a start in the conversations, in the discussions. See, J-Mon, does this change your thought process right there? Rubio's contract is up at the end of this season. Asleep Art says no, wants a young player. They got enough young players. So, just a thought. We're tossing that out there for the discussion. So, yeah. And Rubio's contract, because he's hurt, he's a free agent, he won't never play for the Rockets. So the Rockets are getting a first-round pick out of it for Eric Gordon. I'd kind of like to see if you get more than 1 pick for Eric Gordon because he's playing so well right now. And what was it? Tuesday, EG said he'd like to play another 4 or 5 more years in the NBA. His body feels good. He's changed his workout habits and, diet, etc. He believes he could play another 4 or 5 more years. And J-Mon rather have Okoro. Well, I'm sure the Rockets would too. I don't know if the Cavs would want to do that, but they could ask. Like I said, what I've said is like the phone call, Rafael to Kobe Altman. How about this? Let's begin to talk and negotiate. Let's haggle something. Let's see where it goes. Next, got number 2 trade we would like to see. Christian Wood, y'all's favorite Rocket, some of y'all's favorite Rocket, to the Knicks for Mitchell Robinson, free agent this summer, Kemba Walker, free agent next summer, and 2 first-round picks. Picks are from Dallas and Charlotte. How about that? C. Wood to the Knicks for Mitchell Robinson, Kemba Walker, 2 first-round picks. So thoughts on that? Y'all like that? Don't like it? Trash it? Gohan says KPJ is our point guard. He's played well the last few games. In last live stream I did, I was critical of him and his poor assist to turnover ratio was basically 1-1. The last 2 games, it's been 8-1. That's awesome. That's on the extreme end of being great. If he can get consistently 3-1, 3.5-1, 4-1, that's excellent. So, it's a new name I haven't seen. I just don't see C. Wood going to Golden State. I just don't see it. The money's not right. It's going to involve them giving up some of their youngsters on controllable deals. I just don't see that happening. And Christian Wood, I'm not sure Christian Wood even fits there for what they want to do in Warriors, where the Warriors want to go. Christian Wood is just not good enough consistently for me, game in, game out. And there was the first comment about, where was it? I just saw it. Would the Rockets re-sign Mitchell Robinson? I don't see why they wouldn't. You're only making 1.8 right now, so it wouldn't be should not be a huge bump to re-sign him. So, but that with the Hornets. For who? Solo D'Lo. Who would you want there? But Mitchell Robinson, defensively, would be an upgrade. But one of his issues is being consistent, bringing it game in, game out. What about Şengün's development? Why not play Şengün next to Mitchell Robinson? Because I'm not convinced that LP can be the full-time center. I'm not, not 36 minutes a game. I'm not sold on that yet. It was good to see LP and Jalen Green doing some two-man drills today at the end of practice. PJ Washington first for Christian Wood. I think I've seen that, discussed, tossed around. I'd be okay. I'd want a little bit more, but I'd be kind of good with that. So it's fun. We got February 10th, the deadline day, getting closer. Alan, a lot of y'all, a lot of the fans on here, the family likes the trade. That next proposal, Mitchell Robinson, Kemba, and 2 first-round picks. 1 pick from Dallas, 1 pick from Charlotte. So speaking of the picks, I'm going to pull up the slide. 3 slides. I did it, maybe a month or so ago. So class, here we go with a couple of slides, courtesy of Bobby Marks, as I said, with some details about the picks that the Rockets have now and the near future, some salary numbers, etc. But pay attention to the screen. Here we go. Some info. Some of it is common knowledge and a little bit new stuff added as well. All right. We know that the Rockets have unprotected first-round pick from Brooklyn, 22, 24, and 26. Unprotected first from Milwaukee in 23. The Rockets have the right to swap Brooklyn's 2022 first for Miami's. Top 14 protected. The Rockets also have the right to swap first with the Nets in 23, 25, and 27. The Rockets owe the Thunder first-round picks in 24, top 4 protected, and 26, top 4 protected. Plus, OKC has a right to swap picks in 25, top 10 protected. OKC has a right to swap with the Rockets or the Clippers. I think DJ Augustin has some trade value. Vet, final year of the deal, second-round pick at some point. Be great if you get second-round pick in this coming draft, but, maybe 23, second-round pick. But yes. Next up, there you go with salaries, luxury tax money, 7.3. They sent out 1.2 in that Daniel Tice sign and trade deal and some money to Brooklyn. So you see what they can get restricted to send back out. Gary Bird has a signing restriction and cannot be traded. Tice has a 50% trade bonus in his contract. Rockets have that 1.8 trade exception. They are the luxury tax this season, including that, including that $47.4 million John Wall player option. The Rockets are $16.5 million below the tax next season. Do I think OKC would trade for Wood for I don't know if OKC, at some point, they got to start getting bodies at some point rather than hoarding all these picks. But at some point, yeah. And there you go with some more numbers in the money, the controllables there. And similar, a lot of the controllable contracts are the Rockets' youngsters, the first-round picks from this year's draft. And the controllable contracts is the reason why I don't think the Warriors would trade for Christian Wood, because their youngsters are controllable contracts. Kuminga, et cetera. Jonathan Wiseman. So I don't see them doing those things there. Y'all's favorite dude there, long-term salary with Tice, that 8.3 team option 2024. DJ's contract in 23 is non-guaranteed. So I think they could trade him and get something for him now. No OKC trade back to the Rockets for Wood. I'm just not sure. We know OKC is open for business when it comes to picks. They're open for business. But they also have to meet the salary floor in terms of spending. So they got to do that as well. So part of that will be taking on some money, taking on some players who make some money. So KDC, mid-season, many teams have hopes for contention even playing. Yes. So there are going to be some teams, some owners, let me say that, some owners and upper management who believe that they have a chance at the play-in. So because of the play-in, let's kind of push our chips to the center of the table and make a deal. The Rockets should be part of that, part of those conversations. Okay, what do you want? What are you willing to give us for Eric Gordon, for Christian Wood? I want first-round picks in return for both of them. At least one. I try to get two. And also, definitely a young player. Mitchell Robinson, talented, young, big, free agent this summer. That's also enticing because of that in his contract. He's a free agent this summer, so the Rockets could do, if he doesn't play well the remainder of this season, don't bring him back. I like that flexibility that the Rockets could get. So I think the Rockets need to be open. I have not changed lately my thought process that I still think Eric Gordon, the chances of him being dealt are still around 30, 40%. Start of the season, I thought they were very high. But Eric likes it here. He likes his role on the team. He's still playing well. And the Rockets coaches and management like what he provides the team on the court and in the locker room. So for the Rockets to trade EG, it's going to take a great, great deal. A deal that they really just can't refuse. So barring that, Eric is probably going to be here till his contract ends. So, I'm not sure I would do that. But, and the last thing here, Eric is unrestricted in 2024. Christian Wood is unrestricted 2023. And Christian Wood this summer is eligible to sign an extension this offseason worth up to $77 million over 4 years. So that is $19.5 million per year. Do y'all think that's the Rockets should do that? Sign into an extension, a 4-year deal for $77 million. Do you think C. Wood and his people would agree to that? Y'all know where I stand. I don't think they'd agree with that because they think he's a max salary player. Alan Luna, okay, here we go. D says no, C. Wood's going to decline that. Red, not a flavor. He says EG taking 2 minutes from the rookies. Probably, but he's playing well. And I mean, I've heard Coach Silas, y'all probably have heard him too, say he likes the stability that Eric provides the lineup for the youngsters. So it's probably not going to change. D. Titus says he thinks C. Wood is going to wait until free agency. And see, I think that 19 mil per, that's fair. To me, it's a lot of money to all of us. But C. Wood, and his camp believes he's a max player. That's why I say I think we have a fan on here who wants C. Wood to stay a Rocket. I think it's up to Christian Wood to lower his expectations of being a max player. Because I just don't see him being a max player. And I don't believe the Rockets see him being a max contract player. So unless, the two sides come to an agreement, Chris Wood won't be here long term. Because I can see the Rockets make him an offer this summer for that 4 years, $77 million. And see what the people say. Thanks, but no thanks. Well, that's that on that. If he does that, then Rockets need to look out for the best they can get for him. and get something for him in return. Because he's talented offensively. We know that. He's gotten better communicating on defense. He's not a physical defender against the bigger, imposing centers. I mean, he's not really, a true 5 on defense. We agree on that. So a lot of folks like the suggestion that Bobby Marks and ESPN people tossed out there. Mitchell Robinson, Kemba, 2 first-round picks for Christian Wood. I do too. I think it makes sense as well. We'll see if the Knicks do it. D says he'd be shocked if EG stays. I used to think that way. And Derek, I have, if anybody on here watching right now who believes Christian Wood has shown enough to be worth a max deal and max salary, especially the more years of service, we're talking 30% of the salary cap and then 35% of the salary cap, based on, I think, 10 years of service. But let's just say Christian Wood max salary is $28 million per, 20 to 30 million per max salary. I just don't believe C Wood is that. He's worth that much money. Sorry. Good dude, good player. Just that's too much money to me. So, good point here. How much better can Christian Wood get? I'm not sure. I think, and where he is good, it's solid. But I don't see him being an elite 5 in the NBA, being a top 3, 5 in the NBA. And being elite, there's a reason why it's elite. It's only a handful of players who are elite. Jokic, Embiid, elite. I don't see him ever get to that stratosphere. Matthias, thank you for joining. We talked about, and I'll get back in a second, Asleep Art 11. I kind of agree with you. That's number 20 million per C Wood. If Russ comes to Houston, do I think he'll help the Rockets? He might help them too much, but he'll hurt them, in my opinion. He'll take the minutes away from Scoot, Jalen Green, and Josh Christopher. To the Russ fans, if there are some watching, why, if you are also a Rocket fan, why would you want Russ on these Rockets if he's taking the minutes away from the youngsters, as well as helping the Rockets win too many games to lower their chances of getting a high pick in the draft? Why would you want that? Enlighten me on that one. Why would you want that? James Freeman called the Magic for Christian Wood. Huh? Who you got in mind from Orlando, James? Who do you think Orlando want to trade? Who do you think the Rockets would take in return? But back to Russ. Russ is a hell of a talent. I think his best days are behind him. So I don't see him agreeing to a buyout or anything like that. So why would the Rockets want him? Because if they did trade for Russ, no buyout, no other team will take Russ. Mo Bamba for Wood. Oh, no. No. Rockets won't do that, Ricardo. No. Russ hits top of the backboard too much. Yeah, his shot is way too inconsistent now. For sure. So Russ won't be happy here. Russ wants, I don't say he's chasing, but he wants to win a championship. He thought the Lakers gave him a great chance to get that ring. Right now, it has not worked with the Lakers. Injuries are part of that. The chemistry is also part of that. Russ not being a great fit there. And not all of it is on Russ with the Lakers. pieces aren't there. The depth is not as good as it was last year. Part of the reason, the ramifications of the Russ trade. They could trade away their quality depth to the Wizards. AD not being healthy is an issue, but that's also going to be an issue as long as AD's in the NBA. But we're talking Rockets. I'm play this comment from Coach Silas. The full comment is available on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. But this is a comment from Coach about the team improving, getting better, and taking what they've accomplished during the five consecutive road games and applying that to the homestand now. So not just taking steps back, maintaining what they did on the road and playing like that at home. Here we go from Coach Silas.
Trying to figure it out, I would say. We had a good trip. We could have gone 4-1 very easily. But yeah, it's just the 82 games are so long, and trying to navigate the ups and downs and trying to stay as consistent as possible is one of the things that's one of the biggest learning curves, I would say, for a group, for an individual, for a 19-year-old, for a 20-year-old, for 21-year-olds, for 26-year-olds, just for our young guys, kind of navigating the ups and downs and the importance of the road games, but also, when we come back home, continuing to do the same things that we did on that trip and not losing the focus and losing the stick-to-itiveness, for lack of a better word, that we had on the road.
Thoughts of what Coach just said. Fusion Velez, I see your proposal. Pull it up for everybody to see who's not participating in the comment stream. PJ, I think PJ Washington, I think, is available in trade. Kai Jones, got potential. Athletic. Caleb Martin, man. For Christian Wood, that's not bad. I don't know. Rockets, it keeps their youth movement, young talent, potential there. It's not bad. James said, some picks, maybe include the third teams, make the money work. Oh, Mo's just too inconsistent. He's still trying to figure out what he does well on offense, and he spends way too much time on the perimeter. And his defense is inconsistent. He doesn't seem to want to play hard enough game in, game out, do the things game in, game out. He's still trying to figure out his game, where he excels. I don't know about that. So, Jay, how you doing? Coaching, it could be coaching. It may not all be on Mo. And this is Solo D'Lo kind of agrees with you, James. The Magic are bad at developing talent. That could be an issue. And the Rockets have proven that they are good at developing talent. We got a lot of Mo Bamba fans here. And this logic that Henry mentions has been utilized in pro sports for a lot of years. Players need to change the scenery. And sometimes that works out for both teams. So that could be the case. So we shall see if that happens. Fusion, yep, I've heard and read that the Hornets have a lot of interest in Christian Wood. So won't say no to that possibility. And like I said, Rafael Stone was at practice today. He's usually there. He's usually at practice. Of course, what media is allowed to see. I've seen Rafael there numerous times. Once again, if you're just now joining the stream, did not see Coach Wall at practice. None of us really know where John is. Some of us say he's in New York. Not sure where John is, Coach Wall. Or season ticket holder Wall. LaMelo and Christian Wood, must-see TV. Well, the Hornets are that right now. But will that duo shine come playoff time? Juan Toscano and Otto Porter Jr. Come on, Matthias. Or Phil wouldn't take that from the Warriors. Come on now. Fusion said he saw Wall in Miami yesterday. Working out or just chilling on the beach. So appreciate that. Thank you. Asleep Art11. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Much love and much appreciated as well. And if you're new to the stream, contribute show your love for the channel that way with a super sticker. No amount, it's too small. It's a good way to show support for the channel. It's one way to keep the channel going. Branching out in other streams. Hopefully have one of my colleagues is going to have a football discussion on his YouTube channel as part of Houston Roundball Review presents the Ad Max Corner. AD Moore talks football. So we're doing it, branching out. AD Moore is going to be covering the Super Bowl for Houston Roundball Review. I've already been approved got a credential for the men's Final Four. Yes, already. Got that word on Thursday. So, and we already filmed a segment for KHOU Sports Extra. We recorded it a couple hours ago. That will air tonight, 10:30 in Houston. I'm not sure if you can catch it on the web, but we already recorded a segment, KHOU Sports Extra, 10:30 Central Time, assuming the football game doesn't run long. But yeah, so busy day for me in AD. So we're talking Rockets right now. Live stream. I talk U of H on Sports Extra. So basketball season's here. Good time talking with the fans right now with the Rockets. If the Knicks had called, James, you don't want Mitchell and Kemba from the Knicks and the 2 picks? Cam. Yeah, Henry. Seawood is not tough. I don't think Seawood is tough enough for any of us who hang and discuss on these streams. Trade agent, no worries about being late. Glad you can make it. Rui, first and a second for Wood. Aren't the Wizards getting healthy enough for up front if they wouldn't need Seawood? Asleep Art doesn't want Kemba. You don't want him. Why don't you want him? Asleep Art 11. Is it his game, contract? You don't want him taking up the minutes from the youngsters? Just give me a little bit more details about why you don't want Kemba on the Rockets. No shade, nothing, no hate. Just curious about your reasoning. Trade to the Hornets could be the best fit. Cam is a great fit for this team, a big wing, inconsistent. We talked about the rumors. Coach Wall for Russ. I'll rehash it. I don't see it happening. Terry, Rockets want a first-round pick from the Lakers, not 2 second-round picks, not Kendrick Nunn, not THT. They want a first-round pick from the Lakers, and the first-round pick the Lakers can trade is 2027. And then if they do it, which I'm not sure the Rockets would do that anyway, is what would the Rockets do with Russ? Russ would not be happy here. Period. Would not be happy here. Russ would take up the minutes of the youngsters. Russ would not really want to agree to a buyout. It'd have to be some huge amount for Russ to agree to a buyout for what he has left on his contract. And the large amount that Russ would want, I thought the Rockets would want to agree to. So no. How do Rockets feel about Daisha Nix? I don't see him long-term being an answer here. His same reasons we're benching Wall, not fair. Yeah. For Kemba, make the money work. But at least Kemba's making, what is it, like $9 million? 8.7 this year, 9.1 next year. That's a cheaper buyout. Rockets could do something with that. $9 million is, easier to buy out than $40 million or $50 million. with what Russ has left on his contract this year, plus player option next year. So yeah, $8 or $9 million. That's much easier on the payroll to deal with. Even 18 million total, still easier to deal with than 50, 60 million, like for Russ or Coach Wall. Knicks has a future here, but I don't see him ever being a starter here. He could have a role off the bench. So, I don't expect a great career for him. So far, his better days were in AAU in high school. So I don't see long-term shine here for him, for Dacian here. But if you see Fusion, if y'all see Dacian as a backup point guard here, what about Josh Christopher? What's Josh going to do? Yeah, B-Star, we've been talking about the Russ for John Wall rumor. Don't see it happening. Not say it won't happen, but Russ won't be happy here. Y'all know that. Russ fans know that. Y'all know Russ will not be happy here on a team that's 14-33. And if Russ is here, Russ will want to play 35 minutes a game. Russ would, if the Rockets could convince him to play with this young team, Russ would do his damnedest to get the Rockets in the play-in. And then what good is that? What benefit is that for the Rockets long term? That means you don't have a chance at a high pick in the draft. Rockets still need more talent. This team is not that close to have a vet and lower their chances at long-term success just to get in a play-in this year. Doesn't make sense. No, I don't see that. Y'all, John Wall fans, Russ fans, I can see your understanding your hopes of the trade happening, but Russ will not be happy here. And John Wall has not played all season. So the Lakers will be trading for a player sight unseen. And, Fusion, like I said, the buyout, for Russ to be happy, if I'm Russ and his people, I want my buyout. If Russ, as an example, has the $47 million next year, and let's say he's got $20 million remaining on this year's contract, season half over, whatever he's got left. Let's say it's $20 million. That's $67 million. If I'm Russ and his people, I want $50 million buyout. 50. I want 80% of my remaining salary coming to me in the buyout, because I'm not sure if I don't agree to that much money that I'll be able to recoup it in a new contract with another team. And then is Tillman going to say $50 million? Ooh, I don't know about that. So that's where we are. That's why John Wall has not agreed to a buyout, because John and his folks are not convinced he'll be able to make up that money from another team and get a 3 or 4 year deal from somebody else. So this is still a lot. This is a lot of money here. We're talking, buying, wasting money on Wall, maybe wasting money on Russ. If the buyout, and I'm serious, Russ and his people should have request 80%, 75, 80% of the remaining money on his contract for a buyout. Not 50, not 55, not 60, 45. No, I want minimum 75% of my remaining salary, my remaining contract coming to me to agree on a buyout. And, James Freeman, package Wall with wood. That's a lot to get back in salary in return. James, I'm going to comment on what you said here. Another one, asleep. Much love, appreciate it. One of my colleagues said it. He worded it. I knew what he was saying to Coach Silas today. He said Jalen Green had been playing bad the last couple of games. The Coach Silas said Jalen hasn't been playing bad. He's just been missing shots. He hasn't made shots. His defense has been better. His rebounding has been better offensive rebounding. He played good D on Steph down the stretch. So his game is getting better. He's just not making shots right now. So other parts of his game are developing. That's positive. Some shots, sometimes you're not going to make shots. Steph Curry struggled to make shots a lot against the Rockets until the fourth quarter. And Steph wasn't happy about how he shot the ball, despite making the game winner. He was disappointed in his shot making. And Steph's numbers this season are very un-Steph-like. But, okay, Asleep Art says, unless we're combining, I think I can show it. Combining E.G. and Wood for young upgrade like Simmons, it's not worth trading them yet. They both have a ton of valuable contracts. What do y'all think about that? I don't see Ben Simmons coming here. Because, again, Ben Simmons is a point guard, point forward. What would that do to Scoot? The last couple of games, Scoot has done a much better job running the offense, done a much better job of limiting his turnovers. So the Rockets still believe in Kevin Porter Jr. as the lead guard of this team. So, I just don't see it. They pull this up, Sandoval. Trade Wood to get a better shot at Jabari Smith. If they traded C. Wood, that would probably be the rationale behind the move. They wouldn't say that publicly because they would discuss who or whatever the assets they got in return for trading C. Wood. But then the fans and the media can look, between the lines and say, oh, they're trying to lose more games to improve the chances of getting a high pick in the draft. Which they should do, to me, in my opinion. KDC, being anti-Simmons on here, that ain't a problem. I'm not sure how many folks on this show, on these streams, are pro Ben Simmons. But I'm not sure how many fans of this show are fans of Ben Simmons. I haven't seen too many pro Ben Simmons as a Rocket comments during these shows. Jabari Smith greater than C. Wood. Potentially, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think so. Jabari's, like a 18-year-old, got to get stronger. His game has to improve. All those things. We all know that. But yeah, potential long term, yeah, for sure. Has the Paolo Banchero, y'all don't want him anymore? Is that changed? So Ben Simmons can't shoot. Nobody like I said, I'm not sure anybody here wants Ben Simmons. So KDC, you're amongst friends here. Yeah, you're not alone on that one. Nobody here wants Ben Simmons with the Rockets. What are your thoughts on it's not Rockets, but what are your thoughts on Daryl Morey's pipe dream that Daryl will wait for the summer to trade Ben Simmons so he can get James Harden back? So y'all think James would go with Daryl? Daryl gave James a lot of leeway here with the Rockets. So a lot of folks want Paolo, agree with Paolo or Jabari. Yep. Paolo Banchero, skill set, very high skill set. Mark Williams, cherry agent. Mark Williams, he's playing well enough to be late first round. So, because, Mark's 7 feet, shot blocker, and he's adding to his game on offense. That's right. I put it up there, greater Fifth Ward. Yes, sir. Yep. So I'm surprised that the train and the horn has been blasting through like usual. But yeah, so it's all good. It's where I live. So Paolo's skilled. Well, if the Rockets could somehow get Paolo Banchero and Mark Williams, whew, that'd be a hell of a draft right there, boy. Daryl Morey ruins franchises left and right. No argument for me. No argument for me whatsoever. KDC would like Chet for the defense and the fit next to Şengün. I like that. I'm considering it more and more. It was good to see Ricardo Flores. Thank you very much. Part of me, I know James and Daryl are tight because, like I said, Daryl gave James a lot of leeway with the Rockets. I'll phrase it like that. But part of me hopes James says to Daryl Morey, "I'm good where I am, Daryl. I'm gonna stay with Brooklyn, get this money. Good luck to you." That's a part of me that's like, Daryl is, because he still believes he's smarter than everybody else in the room. He's still holding out for now it's Harden, because for a while there it was Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal. Now it's James Harden. So, all right, Daryl, you keep swinging for them fences. Okay. D Titus, you tossing out names, man. You give me wish list for the Rockets. Your wish list for the Rockets. And see, Alan brings up a good point as it pertains to the Rockets. If James does leave Brooklyn and signs whoever, that helps the Rockets because the Nets won't be as successful. They'll lose more games, and the Rockets' picks from the Nets will be better. Future picks from the Nets will be better. So that makes sense from a Rocket perspective. I'm good with that. Makes sense to me. So yeah, it's a fun thing. Rockets got the homestand now. What are your thoughts on how the Rockets did on the road trip? Could y'all see progress? Were you good with how competitive they were? The things that make cringe. You could see that some of the guys are starting to click. It's like they're starting to get it, starting to understand the defense, understanding what it takes in the NBA to win, game in, game out. What are your thoughts on that? The Jazz win was sweet. Let me pull this up. Yeah, the road trip was better than I expected. I think was better than many of us expected. Saw good progress. Let me see. Yeah, KPJ much better the last two games, especially. And I'm not talking about his shot making, his clutch shot making. Great to see. I was also glad to see him limit his turnovers and still get assists. Did a better job of leading the offense. So that's a positive. Now, y'all know how I am. When a player shows me he or she, college pro, can do something great one time, I want to see them do it again and again and become consistent with it, game in, game out. Rockets get to that level. That's probably going to take the rest of this season to get to that level and more talent, but start being better. The defense Jalen Green played on Steph. I saw you do that. Great job. Do it again. Do it next game. Not just against Steph. Do it against the other opponents. Game in, game out. I can see it. But what was the comment? I saw Marty Morrow. Man, what? That name I haven't seen in a while. Where you been? Have been watching Usman? I have not. Tell me about him. I don't spend too much time watching G League because I spend a lot of time watching the colleges, especially U of H, men's hoops. So I don't watch a lot of the G League. So that's one thing as I branch out, I'd like to get more people under the Roundball Review umbrella so we can cover more ground. There it is. J-Mon with the really impressed by Garrison Matthews. Against the Warriors. Second half, I'm not sure if it's third or fourth quarter. Garrison, I'm not sure if he was being posted up. Something happened. And Garrison basically stopped playing. Looking to the refs for a foul call. Stop playing. He was on the baseline, arms extended, and the play still going on. And I was like, what the hell? The play is ongoing, and you're looking for a foul. Seriously? I mean, come on. What was that? That, I mean, come on, Garrison. Yeah, and did y'all see the tweet about John Hollinger earlier today? John with The Athletic, saying the league needs to look at Garrison Matthews' shooting form and his leg kickouts. Garrison had a comment for John. Go to the YouTube channel. Garrison's like, I've been shooting like this my whole life. I'm not going to change it. So, but yeah. Solo Dilo, I'm glad you brought that up about Scoot and the last play. Garrison mentioned this as well today in his 3 minutes or so talking to us. Plug. Go to the YouTube channel to watch the clip. Hell, let's pull up the Garrison Matthews playlist. It's there too. The play was not designed for Garrison. The Warriors just ran at Scoot. Garrison saw he was open, left open, made the cut, got the pass, took the shot, and he missed. So the play was not designed for him. The Warriors made an adjustment, and Garrison did too. So he took the shot, and he just missed. So Garrison's shooting the ball well again. Armani's seems to be out of his slump. See, that's why I'm not worried about Jalen Green and his shooting slump. You're going to miss shots. As long as you take good shots, I'm good with that. And as long as you do more than just shoot the ball. Jalen Green is adding to his game, playing defense, rebounding more on offense and defense. Got to add to the game. Don't just be one-dimensional. And he's getting there. So you're seeing the development with him. Slowly but surely, you're seeing the improvements in the youngsters. So that's what this season is for, the development. That's what this is for, the growth and development for the youngsters, which is another reason why I go back to Russ. Russ will stunt all of that development of the youngsters, in addition to being pissed off about being traded to the Rockets. Jalen and Scoot are trying to figure out how to best work in the offense. Right now, Scoot is more comfortable leading the offense than Jalen is. So Jalen he's not there yet with the ball in his hands more to create for his teammates and not just himself. Because we're seeing his game kind of fluctuate, because for a while there, he finally started attacking the basket and get to the foul line, got fouls drawn, get to the free throw line. But sometimes he needs to, when he penetrates, pass to his open teammates when defense collapse on it. Another part of the game he needs to add, learning how defenses play him and make those adjustments that way. So, but you can see the talent, you can see the burst, the speed, and the quickness, but you can also see he still needs to get stronger. All those things, but that's going to come in time. Oh, okay, Marty, that's fine. Watch when you can. Watch when you can and spread the word. So, I want to say this, and I'm going to phrase it because I didn't see the very beginning of it, and I didn't see how it ended. But after practice, Let me see. Armani, DJ, Josh, and I think David Nwaba were having a 3-point contest. I think. And I'm not sure if it was around the world where, you got to make 3 to 5 at each spot and then move around, progress around the 3-point line. So I'm not sure if that was the case, but I know Nwaba and Josh were on the right side and DJ and Armani were on the left corners. Now, I don't know if that's because that's where they started or DJ and Armani had just made so many shots that they ended up way away from Josh and David. I look up because we were waiting for Coach Silas to come talk to us. Josh tossed up an air ball, air to 3. And I just remember, because I was talking to colleagues, and I remember DJ yelling out, "Oh, hell no. Hell no, you got to stay right there. You can't move no more." And that was way down the other end of the floor, far from where we were. But we heard DJ say, "Oh, hell no." So it's as if Josh was trying to rationalize his air ball. It's like, oh, it slipped. I didn't mean it. It shouldn't have counted in the competition. I just cracked up laughing. So, but yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right. One more time. I appreciate the love, man. Great. Much appreciated. So that was just fun. I wasn't going to post the clips of it. Sometimes I'm not like some of my colleagues. I don't post everything where I see a practice, whatever. DJ's contract is non-guaranteed for next season, Terry. So 7.3 non-guaranteed. So he could be traded for a pick or two from a team, and then that team could just let him go because non-guaranteed next year. But yeah, that just cracked me up. So saw that, and once again, for those joining the stream now, it's good to see Jalen and Alp working on 2-man game. Jalen doing some penetrating dribble drives, kick out to Alp in the corner, or even good to see Alp posting up, working with Luke on post-ups, doing some screen action. So they're working together. And this is after practice, okay? So these guys staying around, working on their games. So that's what you want to see from your young core, is though practice was over, and it wasn't a heavy practice, but it was over. And the two of them were still working on their game, working on their craft to get better. That's what you want from your young core, to see them continuing to want to get better. So all positives there. And it was good to hear one more time, LP air to turn around and yelled out profanity. That cracked me up too. So that was good. So good comment right there. Good comment. Jalen needs work on the floater. He agreed. JT Hines, Rockets are missing more talent up front. I like to see them get taller on the wing, taller than 6'5", 6'4", taller, 6'7", 6'8". Experience, obviously. Still 3-point shooting. If Scoot could play consistently well, like he has these last 2 games, run the offense and low turnovers, this Scoot would be the Rockets' long-term solution at the 1. I'm just not sure this Scoot can do this every game. If Scoot could get 8 assists and 1 or 2 turnovers every game, that's what you want. I'm just not sure you can do that. So, but yeah, that's part of it. Alp is part of what I see the Rockets' foundation. I'm just not sure if he is the answer at the 5 or at the 4. So if they could get somebody to complement him at either one of those, the Rockets need that. So that's where I'm on that. So yeah, I think Jayshawn Tate on a championship team is the 5th option or one of your great players off a great bench. So yeah, I just Jay Sean is great glue guy. You know, I've seen people start saying now he's a Draymond Green type. Okay, well, Draymond Green is a fourth or fifth option on the Warriors championship team. Jason Tate, same thing, fourth or fifth option. I don't see 1, 2, 3. No, don't see it at all. KRTs, thank you very much for the comment. Appreciate that. More motion offense. Yeah, I think Coach Silas would agree with you on that, JT. He wants to see them move the ball more movement, more player movement, because the Rockets' struggles on offense many times are because they stop moving the ball and they stand still and they ball watch. Far too many teams have struggled when they ball watch and they stand still. You know, my old school mentality. The hardest player to defend on a court is a player who's always moving. If you stand still, well, I know where you are. So yeah, move with a purpose. Don't just move around like you don't know what the hell you're doing. Move with a purpose. So Jason Tate, and some teams are playing Jason for the 3-point shot. He's got to make them. You know, this rationale, nonstop cutters, that's more of where I think the Rockets need. I think basketball needs more cutters, more movement. It's a more effective game when players are moving with a purpose and cutting, moving without the ball, and passing, hitting those cutters. That's the kind of game I like to see. Jay Sean still complains to the refs too much for my taste. Garrison's getting there too. He does it too much for my taste. But they're young. Hopefully they grow out of it. And agreed. Terry brings up a great point. The bench brigade, they do move more with Alp hitting the cutters. Agreed. I like to see more of that in the first group. KRTs, much love. Thank you very much for that. But the issue, and I'm going to answer Terry's post and what I just said kind of differently, is we're getting right here. If Scoot is running the offense, leading the offense, then the Rockets' issue is they don't cut. They don't move enough. It's as if they're just waiting for Scoot to do anything. What's wrong with the cutters and moving without the ball when Scoot has the ball? You don't have to stand still just because Kevin Porter Jr. has the ball. You don't have to wait for Seawood to get the ball. Move with a purpose. So that's part of the youth of the team, learning how to play in the NBA, learning what works in the NBA. So hopefully we'll see more of that on this homestand. Hopefully the Rockets will continue to show what they learned and showed on the road trip and bring that to the homestand, because that is what it's going to take for them to be successful long term. And they're young. Some of the stuff, the effort has gotten better. So I'm not going to bash them for that, because there was a stretch there when I was just, y'all heard it, y'all heard me say it, not getting back in transition. Turnovers led to transition, easy buckets for the defense, for the offense, because of your mistakes. But part of that is because y'all didn't bust your behind and get back on defense. That's effort. That's not learning defense. That's getting back on defense. That's just effort. And we've heard Coach Silas say, and some of the Rocket players, the youngsters, are still learning defenses, the nuances of the defense, where to be, the angles to take. the fundamentals, the footwork, how to angle your a person with the ball to shield them to where your defense is playing. All that's part of it as well. So it's getting there. I think Al P is in a little rut because opposing teams have scouted him enough to know what he likes to do. So they're beginning to take away his number one option and sometimes his number two option. So he's got to go deeper into his bag. So opponents see Al P has skills in the post. So now they want to see what he can do once they take away those first two options. Part of the development. He'll get there. We can see the potential, the core, the foundation of the Rockets is solid, is strong. They're learning good habits, which is important. Now they need to maintain those good habits every game and the consistency every game. And as Terry says, yeah, teams are double teaming him now. Respect. The fade. The funny thing was, and I think some of my colleagues showed a clip of it on social media, on Twitter, Instagram. Al P airballed Dream Shake fade in practice today, and he said shit after the airball, and it was funny. But he went back at it, did it again, made the bucket. Repetition. He went out to the corner three, working with Jalen Green. They're working on the game. So it's good to see wow, good question, K. Ortiz, good question. The most consistent rookie of the class. I mean, right now, wow. I'd still probably lean toward Al P. So far, I'd say Al P. And that'd be then Jalen or Josh. Who's been more consistent, Jalen or Josh? Al P first. I'm gonna say overall game, probably Josh. Jalen's have more explosive offensive performance than Josh. But that's like, 2A, 2B kind of thing right there. But should they let Sengun pick and pop mid-range? Yes, I think that's part of it. I think that they need to add it to his game, because him mid-range and the mid-post, he takes that shot, but he also has a chance to do the pass out of it, hit the cutters as well when he's faced up. So that's part of the game as well. Yep. But yeah, KRT is close. It is close. Agreed. So, and it's not, shade on any of them. We know it's not Oos. Hasn't played enough. Josh is coming on, except for that air ball he had today in the 3-point competition. But each of them have had their moments, have had moments to shine, and have had their rough moments, their rough patches. Part of being a rookie. But I think that core is strong. And that's another positive for the future of the franchise. Which, going back to the early part of this discussion, of this stream tonight, I know if the Rockets get a pick from the Lakers, get Russ don't want to be here. Well, what team would take Russ off the Rockets' hands? And then what buy would Russ agree to? That's a lot to discuss. Haitian Knicks, do I see him getting a spot on this roster? Long-term, no. Unless he improves a great deal. Because I think the Rockets are going to continue upgrading the talent. And that's what you want. Because Josh Christopher is taking Armani Brooks' minutes. So at some point, the Rockets have so many guards and young guards. You got Scoot. You got Jalen. You got Josh Christopher. That's 3. You still got Armani Brooks. Garrison Matthews is probably a guard. He's a wing. That's 5. You bring in youngsters in a future draft, if not this summer's draft, another draft, then where's Daisy Nix going to play? So that's where we am. That's where the Rockets are. And they still like playing, I don't like it, but still like playing 3 guards. That's why you got EG and playing short ball, which that's why I want the Rockets to get more taller, skilled players. They're content with the 6'4", 6'5" dudes. I ain't with that. That's the Rockets' philosophy. So, Fuser Velez, appreciate the love. Asleep Art, much, 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 much love to you for your contributions to today's show. And it's much needed. I just, I'm not big on 6'2". I'm not, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6'2", 6'5" guards. That's just too many for me. I just don't like it. I'm sorry. That's just not my style. My preference. 6'6" and up. Okay. You can have 2, 6'2", 6'1", 6 feet. Okay. Rockets got like 6. No. And, they do have different skills and all that, but it's just too many for me. For my personal take. So I'm not a fan of small ball. No, sorry. But all right, folks. Rockets, Spurs, right? Spurs are up next on Tuesday. Rockets got a nice little homestand. Rockets should beat the Spurs, right? Playing at home, it should beat the Spurs. Even though DeJounte Murray may get another triple-double, the Rockets should win. Agree? Agree with that one? Then the Rockets don't play again until Friday when they play the Blazers and Anthony Simon. So it'd be kind of curious to see if Robert Covington is still on Portland's team. I think he's probably going to be traded between now and the 10th. So is Jalen Green really 6'4", or has he grown? He's not done growing. He's growing. He's getting taller. Now he needs to get heavier, put on some more weight, and weight that he can put on some more pounds, but also get stronger, so he can take the beating, the physical contact from the other teams. So, all right, this week, Spurs on Tuesday, Blazers on Friday. 2-0 for the Rockets. What y'all say? 2-0 for the Rockets? Boy, it's a nice, smooth stretch. Rockets got a game Tuesday, game Friday, and then a game Monday. It's going to be a lot of practices between these days off. 2-0 for the Rockets. Let me see. Al P. What was it? Grow to 6'10" to 7 feet. Be nice if he could. I'm not sure he will, but it'd be great if he could. All right, we got majority of 2-0s, a couple of 1-1s. Oh, losses for picks. That's the losing will be better. I think the Rockets are going to go 2-0. I think they're going to take from a successful road trip and bring it back home, beat the Spurs on Tuesday, and then beat the Blazers on Friday. 2-0. See what Chuck's given. Well, point. I'm gonna come back to you just a second. I think the Rockets. Yeah, Sandoval, I agree. I think they believe they are, if the Rockets and staff players believe they're getting better, progressing, going forward, then they should win both these games. Yeah, I agree with that. Trade predictions for John and Eric. Oh, let me go back to the discussions. Terry, thank you very much. Enjoy dinner. Go back to the two trade proposals that ESPN's Bobby Marks tossed out there. One was more agreed to than the other. The first one was Ricky Rubio, who's injured, out for the year, but also a free agent at the end of this season, and a 2022 lottery protected first round pick for Eric Gordon. The other one was Christian Wood to the Knicks for Mitchell Robinson, Kemba Walker, and 2 first round picks, 1 pick from Dallas, 1 pick from Charlotte. Mitchell Robinson is a free agent this summer. Kemba is a free agent next summer. So thoughts on those? John Wall, I just don't see it happening. Lakers give up that first round pick in 27. Okay. Then the Rockets have to decide what they're going to do with Russ and his contract, because Russ here won't help the team going forward. So, but we'll think about all. So, what are your thoughts? So far, nobody seems to like the Rubio and the pick for Eric Gordon. I think the Rockets could do better than that. We'll see for that, and also I'm not sure unless the Rockets do get something better, a better trade offer for Eric. I don't think he's going anywhere. So a lot of fans agreed, like the Mitchell Robinson, Kemba, 2 picks for Christian Wood. A lot more fans like dealing with the Hornets. Picks, PJ Washington, Kai, that as well. Hornets probably have some things, assets that could benefit the Rockets for Christian Wood. So those possibilities, Eric Gordon to Phoenix. Yeah. Jalen Smith, I don't see him going back to Phoenix. Based on how they handle the restricted free agency and the contract, he can't get huge money from Phoenix, and I don't believe he can get huge money from anybody else. So he's kind of stuck, but young, talented big man. So we'll see with that. All right. It's almost 90 minutes. It's great talking with the fans, talking with the family. As always, not as always, but now also start coming to the YouTube channel for my YouTube shorts. 15 to 60-second clips. I'm going to get some comments, some thoughts about Rockets, Cougs, just thoughts on my head, off top of my shiny ball dome, as well. Adding that content to the channel going forward. Branching out. So I got the Let's Talk Houston Rockets, the AdMax Corners for football, and then the Folks Talking Sports live stream where we do a little bit of both. Talking Rockets, U of H, college, and pro sports. So also looking for sponsors for those 3 shows. We're going forward as well. Got plans for that. Once again, if you missed it, Houston Roundball Review has been approved to attend the Super Bowl via the AdMax Corner. Houston Roundball Reviews are already been approved for the men's Final Four, and should be, hopefully, knock on wood, get approval for the women's Final Four. So yes, Houston Roundball Reviews doing big things. So thank you very much, Jamon. Thank you for your kind words. Stacey Hines, I cannot get tickets. Those days are over. My connections are no longer there with the Rockets, and honestly, the Rockets cut that out for media, because it used to be a thing we could get tickets to media, put in requests. Rockets cut that out. I think somebody abused the privilege and messed it up for all of us. So those days are over. So Jamon, thank you. K. Ortiz, thank you very much. Appreciate the kind words. All right, folks. Let's see. We got Rockets game Tuesday, game Friday. Let's go again. Next live stream will be Sunday, because I got a busy day of college hoops on Saturday. So let's go with next Sunday, January 30th will be the next Let's Talk Houston Rockets live stream show. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Everybody take care. Peace.